Hello, everybody, troop. Welcome back. How are you guys? I hope you're having an amazing and a beautiful day. Girl, I mean, there are so much to talk right now because the season finale of The Real Housewife of Salt Lake City, girl, I was like, what is this? But I am also so happy because we are seeing so many true colors and we need to talk about this. But before we start, welcome back. I'm the real Andy of Beverly Hills. Welcome to another little piece of tea. Make sure to subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And remember, if you are from the old crew, make sure that the notification is definitely on, or better yet, turn it off and turn it on again, because we are trying to restart this channel as it is. Okay, welcome to the Beverly Troop. If you are new here, where we spill the tea every single day, and if you love Bravo, this is the place to go, or if you love pop culture as well. Guys, season 2 of my podcast is coming soon. Okay, Pop Smash season 2 is coming on my other YouTube channel, so make sure to subscribe as well. The link will be on the description below. All right, guys, so let's talk about this mess. This season has been a little bit weird. It was definitely a season where you can tell that there was an agenda direct, of course, at Lisa Barlow and then Meredith Marks. It's like they got together and they were like, we are just gonna take these people down no matter what. And the beauty of reality TV is how much the fans are gonna be able to look through the bullshit, right? Is how much are we really gonna get convinced that they are telling us the truth or that they are being fake as fuck, right? And I think all of that really plays a part into like what the show is in itself. I feel that for the very first time in like a long time, this season was not about a specific huge drama, like Jen Shaw or Monica Garcia, or like the big things that really kind of like happen. It was more about the actual drama between the girls, and of course it gave a different tone to the whole season in itself. I have already been like seeing like some comments here and there being like, oh my god, this season was like so boring, or this season was so different. And I'm like, first of all, it was not boring, because Salt Lake City could be anything but boring. Like every single episode they deliver somehow, okay? But this is the thing, this is the problem, where you get used to having huge moments season after season after season, then it kind of like become the norm, right? If you remember, even season 1, there was a lot of talk about like Mary Cosby's church, and all of that, and people were like very focusing on that. Season 2, Jen Shaw happened. Season 3, Jen Shaw went to jail. Season 4 was Monica Garcia. Even season 5, there was a lot of drama with like Bronwyn and the kid and the adoption, and like all of that, not adoption, all of her drama, and all of that. So it kind of like, it became this thing that if there is nothing huge happening, then there is nothing happening. And that is so far from the truth, because this season is really showing us that for the first time, the ladies did not have just one thing to focus on, and they really have to rely on their relationships, And I think they are realizing, our relationships sucks. And if you're not gonna focus all of your energy into just one person, it's gonna get a little bit more complicated, and then we're gonna have to like really go there and open up every single one of them to have these relationships. Am I right? So, but I also think that this is really important for them. At the end of the day, Real Housewives in general thrives on real relationships and real friendships, and see how this is really gonna how they are really meshing well together. And I think here is where we're starting to see the cracks. Okay. Heather Gay is the perfect example of a person, of a woman, of a housewife who thrives on drama and chaos, you know, and then when she really have to go into like their friendships, it really is not as complete as she thinks it is, right? She thinks that she, you know, is such a good friend and that she's loyal to everyone, but that's really not her personality, as we have seen this season, you know. Her attitude toward Lisa Barlow and then Meredith Marks shows a person who does not care about them at all. She just cares about the storyline, and she just cares about how are we gonna make this happen. And it really is showing her through colors, right? We see someone like Whitney Rose, whose obsession with Lisa Barlow since season 1 has been on such of another level. And it's kind of like, why are we, what are you real storylines then, you know? Look, I believe that Angie and Bronwyn, they are not totally innocent on all of these, you know, but I put them on a different category because I do believe that the puppeteers are usually Heather Gay and Whitney Rose. I used to believe, you know, that it was only Whitney, but Heather showed us aside this season that it did not make any sense. If we all remember, even until last season, Heather was being best friends with Lisa. Heather was being like, we are sisters, we're in this together, we're this, we're that, you know. And she started this season completely unhinged, going against Lisa for no reason whatsoever. And I'm like, why? What is your end goal at the end of the day? And I think it's all about power. It's all about who are you as a housewife, and it's all about, you know, watching Lisa being extremely successful. I know a lot of people got rubbed the wrong way when Lisa said, like, I live a very different life than all of you. But at the end of the day, it is true, you know. Yes, they are all housewives and they are all on a reality TV, but we also have to analyze the life that these girls live outside of the show. And Lisa is the only one who is actually actively doing things all the time outside of the show, you know? Meaning she is, I mean, I don't know if you guys follow her, you know, but when you follow her on social media and stuff like that, you realize that she's in throwing all kind of events. She has very successful companies. And I'm not talking about Vida Tequila only. A lot of people like to crap on Vida Tequila because it's not like Jose Cuervo or I don't know, whatever of the other like huge tequila brands. But I think that's probably the end goal. But Vida Tequila, I think she's is doing well as it is right now, you know, and she has a tequila brand, right? But that's not her main source, you know. Lisa Barlow is all into marketing, it's all into PR, and that's what she does. That's why she's called the Sundance Queen, you know. She throw events, she throw activations, she throw very big things, you know what I mean? So I'm like, look, she does live that kind of life. She's surrounded by celebrities. She goes to different parties all the time. And it's a life that I believe the other women would love to have, and they just don't. You know what I mean? So I think there is a lot of that in play. And also the fact that Lisa is a fan favorite. Lisa gave us one-liners that we, until this day, use, and she's still even creating new ones. Who is thinking about calling someone alky? That's right there something that I'm gonna call people when I think they're an alcoholic from now on, you know? So that kind of things, like, girl, Lisa doesn't even, like, it just came in the moment. It's just the way it is. And that's why she is such a great housewife, you know? She has the biggest partnership that any real housewife from all franchise have had so far, which is her partnership with Wendy's. Okay? Because these partnerships usually are like a commercial here, a commercial there, done. No, Lisa Barlow has an exclusive partnership with Wendy's. Girl, that's insane. And it has had it for like what, like 2-3 years now? So that right there, it's insane. And I think that's what these other ladies were craving. And I think Heather Gay got to a point that was like, I need to take this girl down because I will never be Queen Bee while Lisa Barlow is over here. But then we also see everything that happened with Meredith Marks. And Meredith Marks, I think it was also more focus coming from Whitney Rose, you know? And I think the accusations were so incredibly bad, defamatory even, you know? I mean, calling someone a pill popper, an alcoholic, you know, like all of these horrible things that they call Meredith. I was like, what were you expecting and what is the end goal? Because any person, and I want to include Mary on this one, especially Mary who has a son who is going through the same thing and she wants to use that as I know what it looks like, right? What person will approach someone who you think has a drug and alcohol problem and will go and scream at them and create rumors about them and talk about their husbands and their families and like all of that, you know what I mean? Like, what kind of person does that? Approach someone and say like, I'm so worried for you, but you are a piece of shit, you are horrible, your husband is cheating on you, you deserve this, you deserve that. Like, what about thinking about the mental health aspect? What about thinking that maybe even if she's going through something, you don't do that the way that they were doing it? It was honestly kind of like very disgusting to watch. And it kind of like gave me the sense of like, oh, this is made with a purpose, okay? This is made with the agenda of wanting to destroy her, of maybe trying to taking her so down that she will quit the show by herself, you know? Because I think at the end of the day, what they really want is for Meredith to quit the show so Lisa doesn't have anyone by her side, so eventually they can take down Lisa. And the whole thing was just so horrible and disgusting to me. I don't know if you have even watching the after shows. The way that these ladies, like Brownwing, changing her story. One moment she's saying one thing, the next moment she's saying another thing. The stories about the plane, the stories about what happened after, you know, the cameras were off. Everything keeps changing when it comes to Brownwing, you know. So it's kind of like, can we stop with the thirstiness? You are already a housewife. You are already creating a name for yourself. Why are you indulging in even more mean girl behavior when you could be doing so much more? Why there is so much lack of intelligence from all of the other, those mean girls group, you know? But I'm glad, honestly, because of course after every episode I go to social media and go and see what people are saying, and I'm glad that the majority of the people, and I will say like a good 80% of the fans, are looking through the bullshit and they're able to understand that Heather Gay is being full of bullshit this season. And it needs to be called out and it needs to be acknowledged, okay? Because what they did to Meredith, especially at the season finale, was not good, you know? I love that Lisa is being a ride or die friend for Meredith Marks, you know? And I'm glad that she's saying, I don't give a shit if you don't like that I open my mouth and defend my friend. This is what I'm going to do. And guess what? This is what Lisa will do for you as well if you were a good friend, if you were a loyal friend, you know? The problem is you are not, you know? And Lisa is looking through your bullshit. Do you think that Lisa is gonna trust in you after everything that she has seen you do to Meredith? It's kind of like, this is who you are. I mean, I don't know if you have to go to therapy, a retreat, you know, like electroshock therapy. I have no idea, you know? But this is who you are now. So, I mean, the whole thing is honestly wild. Of course, one of the best things about the season finale was the play, the Greek tragedy. I think it was done perfectly. You know, I think whoever wrote that, I think the lady who wrote that, took what everyone was saying and trying to put what really needed to be here, you know? I do believe that what was said about every single one of the ladies was true in some degree, you know? And I think it was important for them to watch this from an outside perspective to really understand oh, this is how people are actually perceiving me, you know, or my friends, you know, this is how my friends are actually perceiving me, you know. And I think that was a very important thing to do. It was good, you know, and I think I was very impressive with the way that they managed it. Until then, they have to go and reroute everything into like, oh, we need to talk about Meredith Marks, you know. I'm so sorry, but Bronwyn bringing the whole Seth was with another woman, to me, it's like the most stupid thing in the world. If you remember the original story, I think Bronwyn said that Seth went to Todd to say hi to him, and Seth was with these other women, right? Why will Seth go and say hi to this other woman who is not, to this other husband of this woman who is not really best friends with your wife, with your mistress? I mean, you will have to be the stupidest person in the world to do something like that. You know what I mean? Like, to me, since the moment that Bronwyn said that, I was like, girl, what are you trying to put over here? What are you trying to say over here? You know, it's like, it didn't make any sense to me at all. And then Bronwyn is bringing this into a conversation about a possible person who might be an alcoholic and a drug addict, and you want to say like, oh, and by the way, your husband is cheating on you. How is that caring for someone? How? Girl, I'm so sorry. It was just another level, you know. But as I said at the beginning, this is showing us the true real colors of these other women: Heather Gay, Whitney Rose, Angie Katzeneva, and Bronwyn Newport, and Brittany. You know, it's really like we can see who they are and what they want. I'm not gonna deny it. In the bottom of my heart, I want, and I'm expecting a change from Bronwyn and Angie. I believe those two are still into some way of salvation if they change their ways, if they learn how to be good, real friends, you know. I think that will save them, you know. I don't think there is any saving for Heather and Whitney at this point. And you know my opinion, I think it's time for Whitney Rose to leave the show. I don't see her point anymore. I think her obsession with Lisa is just weird and done. And I don't want another season of her being obsessed with Lisa Barlow, you know. But let's wait and see, you know. I like, look, I always love Angie because she's Greek, and Greece is my favorite country in the world, you know, and I think she was very cool, and I think she has good qualities as a housewife, you know. But she needs to like learn to be a good fucking friend, because I don't think she is a good fucking friend. And Bronwyn, she said it herself, she doesn't have loyalty to absolutely anyone. So girl, go to therapy and learn to trust in people, learn how to be a good friend. But I believe that there might be a salvation for those two. Brittany is too thirsty. I mean, there is no salvation there, but like, whatever, she's just a friend, right? So I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about the season finale of Salt Lake City. We have the reunion, 3-part reunion coming with a lot of like lies and fakeness and a lot of things that are gonna be said at that reunion, but it is what it is. But we have Andy Cohen, you know, making history, walking off the stage. So like, let's see how it goes. But how do you feel? How do you feel about the season in general? How do you feel about Heather Gay, about Lisa, Meredith, Bronwyn, Angie, Mary, Brittany, like all of them, you know? Let me know. And if you're gonna get all the tea related to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City or any of the other Bravo shows, make sure to like this video, share this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you around. See ya! Bye!